Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jay Green. I'm the Chief Operations Officer for the Baltimore City Department of Housing and Community Development. I want to thank you all for joining us this afternoon for the announcements of recipients of the 2019 Capital Funds Awards under the Community Catalyst Grants Program. We want to welcome all of the awardees. We want to welcome all of the elected officials and people have come from all across the city and districts to join us today, and again, welcome. This is a pivotal moment for our department and for the city. We're taking another step in delivering the promise of bringing new resources into our communities and strengthening our partnership organizations. We work alongside these partnership organizations. They're important to us. The work they do is important to us. And this is how we're going to move our communities forward. And this is how we're going to accomplish our neighborhood transformation, which we all want to see happen. As before, we will announce the awards to be given out this afternoon. I ask you to welcome our Commissioner, Michael Braverman.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. The mayor said make it brief. So I'm just going to start by saying thank you, Jay. I want to thank Jay for all the work on this and all his help in standing up the new DHCD, one that puts community development first. So Baltimore's very lucky. We're really lucky to have Jay's expertise and his personal disposition, and I feel so am I. Really lucky to work with him. So it's great to see everybody here. We are starting on time, so that means a lot of people will be coming in as we go along. So I want to say it's great to see everybody here. Like this room, looking around this room, you are all truly, and I mean this, truly the greatest resource that Baltimore has for positive, equitable development. And I know this from my firsthand work with you, but you know it better than I do. Your love for your communities and for our larger city, your ability to see what can and should be done, your sense of urgency and partnership, and your vision for a better, more equitable city will be the key components of our future success. So thank you, everyone in this room. Of course, it's hard to implement that vision without resources, capital, and operating. And so we heard you, and with our mayor, then council president, support, we created the Community Catalyst Grants, which are a new $5 million annual grant program to help you realize your vision. Roughly $2 million went to operating, $3 million for capital, with the bulk of it going to emerging organizations. Many of you know that earlier in the year, again, with the support of the mayor, in his capacity as council president, and with the assistance of many of you, we published our community development framework. The three pillars on the framework rest are expanding resources for community development, promoting access and equity, and investing in all neighborhoods. Today, in partnership with all of you, we are putting all three of those commitments into action. So, Mayor, without further ado, I would like to welcome our staunchest supporter, Mayor Bernard C., and I think the C stands for community, Jack Young, to make the award.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael. First, I want to recognize my Deputy Chief of Staff, Carolyn Moselle, if she would wave. And I want to thank each and every one of you, to Commissioner Braverman and Jay Green and the community awardees, thank you. Our comprehensive community development framework is all about igniting neighborhood investment and strengthening communities. We know that central to moving Baltimore forward is an obligation and determination to address the disparity that exists in neighborhoods that have experienced persistent neglect. And we are working to bring meaningful investment to these neighborhoods and to promote equity and access. If you've been watching us work, you know that we are burning on all cylinders. The Neighborhood Impact Investment Fund, which is called the NIF, was created leveraging public and private capital to promote development and growth in distressed communities. We established a dedicated source of revenue to fund our Affordable Housing Trust Fund. I know most of you know about that because the community was behind pushing to make sure that that was done. An aggressive step to provide housing for low-income families and individuals. With our Choice Neighborhood Grant, we're moving forward with transforming the face of public housing in our city. And we created the Community Catalyst Grant Program, allocating millions in new resources for operating and capital support for our neighborhood-based partners. The Community Catalyst Grant Program is a competitive grant program. Early this year, the first round of operating grants were awarded. And today is about naming the first-year recipients of the Capital Grant Awards. Our goal is to bring change to these neighborhoods in partnership with neighborhood-led organizations. And I'm pleased to be here today to announce $3.3 million in awards. We are working to ensure that the projects regarded as critical to community development and our partners that are at the center of doing this critical work are supported. And with these funds, we are helping to leverage more than $52 million in development activities in our neighborhoods. So thank you for all of your hard work. And without further ado, let's begin to give out these awards. Oh, you got some
Mayor, I just want to thank one or two other people before we get started. It's great to have this new resource. The need's always greater than the amount that we have at this particular time. So the selection process is incredibly difficult. We received over 70 applications totaling more than $20 million for roughly $3 million in funding. So I want to publicly thank everyone that worked so hard to bring some organizational support to this effort. I want to thank Stacy Freed and Felicia Harris. Felicia, for all the work that they did to make this happen. So we have 25 awards to make, 17 of which are going to emerging organizations touching communities across the city. And I know that to meet the sense of urgency, we looked to any source we could to increase the amount we would have available to touch as many organizations, as many communities as we could. So many of you here today may have received an award from another bucket, but Mayor is just going to call up the Community Catalyst Grants. We thank you for your work and thank you for being here. As we announce each recipient, could you just come up and stand with the mayor, because at the end we're going to take a group photo. So if you could stay afterwards, and yeah, we're going to. American Communities Trust. Oh, you have. Thank you, China. The great work that everyone's doing will be on the board behind China, but to move fast, I'm going to call the names, and you can see the great work that China and her team are doing.
Go back on our seat.
No, please stay, China. Arch Social Club. And Arch Social Community Network. And everyone can see the great projects that are being worked on around the city. We thank everyone. Baltimore Rock Opera Society. Yeah. Bel Air Edison Neighborhoods, Inc. Thank you. Black Women Build, Baltimore. Barnabas Renewal Initiative, developing grace enriching systems. Thank you. That's a long way to say bridges. Thank you, Michael. City Life. Thank you very much. Ellen, welcome. Great project. That's a whole list of that. And Civic Works. There you are. Thank you so much. all the great work supporting our senior homeowners. Thank you. Coldstream Homestead Montebello Community Corporation. And Mayor Chum. Yeah. Let me look short. I'll stand next to you. All right. Countered. What a great, someone here from Countered. Great work in the Penn North Res Hill area. Okay, it's a great project. Mayor, you'll give out that to somebody else. Okay, Creative Alliance at the Patterson. Druid Heights Community Development Corporation. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you. This is a long time coming, Mayor. The East Baltimore Historical Library. Is Leah here? Yeah. You can,
I accept it on behalf of you. I'll make sure she gets it.
All right, and some great work in the Northwest Forest Park Alliance, WBC, Community Development Corporation. Mr. Campbell. Thank you for the great work you did. Please take note of Mr. Campbell's tie. He's wearing more of a tie than I am. And Greater Baybrook Alliance, Meredith Chaikin. Thank you, Meredith. And the Harwood Community Association. Thank you. Thank you for the great work. Thank you. Oh, does anyone see Janet Allen in the house? Heritage Crossing Resident Association. Thank you, Janet. Okay, Historic East Baltimore Community Action Coalition, AKA HIPCAC. Is Ed or Jeff here? All right, we can put that in someone else's bucket as well.
No.
Yeah. Okay, KMW Threshold, I know you are here. Reg Angeletti, thank you. Great work in Greenmount West. And again, Monarch Butterfly and WBC. Great work. Thank you for the great work. And Neighborhood Housing Services, NHS. Thank you. Great work out at Woolbrook. Thank you. We need some work out on West North Avenue. Thank you. Okay, this is another long time coming. People's Homesteading Group, Michael Mason. Please sit up, Mike. All right, there we go. We got a house for sale. Okay, I'm going to go back. Thank you. And before I get to the next one, Countered is in the house. Countered? Yeah. Yes, thank you. Can't wait to get some healthy food. You nailed it. Thank you. Nice to see you. Strong City, Baltimore. Thank you. Great work getting that home building online. Thank you. Oh, we made it and closed. Thank you. All right. Upton Power. Jules Dunham Alley. Did we get to the end, Mayor? We're ready for a photo opportunity.